All right. Hello. All right. Beautiful day out. Great day, great day. How are all you all? Beautiful people. I'm going to help you to fight this sugar addiction, first of all, and start to rethink your health so that you can make better changes. Okay. I'm going to help you to do just that, but I do want to be as honest as I can about the damage that sugar is doing to our bodies. And I'll give you some alternatives to sugar, just so you don't think that I'm trying to knock away your sweet tooth. We all have it a little bit. We just need to make some changes because sugar is entirely causing so much damage to our bodies. And we just have to start thinking about this. I often walk around and I observe people when they're eating. I observe the choices that they're making. And I'm not judging them or anything. I don't judge anybody for what they decide to eat. I think there's a lot of reason why people don't make the right choices. Some of it is a lack of knowledge and information. Some of it is the advertisement and the marketing, the psychological aspect that marketing and advertisement does to our literal brains. And some of it is just habits that are built over time from the environment that they are in, from their parents. But nevertheless, we have to shake this sugar addiction. I don't think people are still informed about how damaging sugar is to the body. And I think that a lot of, I would say, the medical industry is still pointing fingers at the wrong thing and still yet, the food industry is still selling us things that have a lot of sugar in it. And it's pretty cool for doctors and people who are making money off of us being sick, because they get to keep prescribing us medicine and, everybody gets paid at the end of the day. If we stay sick, people get paid. If we get healthy, somebody's not getting paid. And so I don't think there are times where people really are trying to help us to get well and to get better. Some people are, but there's still a lot of conspiracy with trying to keep us sick. And I'm sick of it. And I'm here to empower you that you have to take control of your life, because too many people are sick. There's too much chronic disease. 70% of people will have chronic disease. Diabetes is still growing. There's so much going on. People are getting wrinkles too fast. Our skins are darker. Our direct body composition is being messed up because of sugar. And so I want to really bring some attention to that and really help you to still have alternatives to sugar. So you can still have sweet things, but not just table sugar is genetically modified, and it's released with a ton of chemicals, and it has absolutely no nutrients in it. And there are sweet things that has been created for us to enjoy that actually, will give us the satisfaction that we're looking for. Okay. And the nutrients that we need for our body. All right. So I do want to just talk about this issue of sugar, because people are still just not informed about the damage, and people are still not thinking. That's why I love the direction that I took with my TEDx speech, which, if you haven't seen it, is very empowering. I want you to go on YouTube and check it out under Camila Stevenson TEDx. You'll see it. But people just need to think more. We think about everything else, money, and, how can we get enough money to go shopping. We thinking about our day. We planning our day. We're going to get our nails done, our hair done, and all of this other stuff. But we still have to think about our bodies, okay? Because sugar is actually damaging us in ways that we just don't know. It's affecting every part of us, just our aging and degenerative diseases. There's been several links between cancer and high blood pressure, and I'll explain that in a moment. And even it damages the collagen in our bodies. And that's why our skin gets messed up. And that's why our joints can't repair itself, because collagen helps with all of that, helps with our digestive system, And so we just kind of need to start rethinking it. It causes inflammation. This causes heart problems because it hardens the arteries. The arteries are not flexible, and so it's easier to have heart disease, and it's easier to have blood clots and all kind of things that go wrong. The brain is the precursor to the body, so of course it's going to affect the brain, and it has the same impact that street drugs have on us because we're dealing with addictions, and there are receptors in our brain that sugar attached to, the same receptors that heroin and cocaine and morphine and a lot of drugs is the same receptors that are being connected. And as a matter of fact, there was a study done we're trying to figure out, okay, do depressed people run to sugar, or does sugar cause mood swings and depression and mental problems? And there was a study done. I wrote it down, a 2017 study, actually a scientific study, where it broke down which one had the impact, like the chicken or egg. And they tested about 23,000 people, over 23,000 people, to take an assessment looking at mood swings and loving sugar in their diets. And they did conclude that sugar actually do cause mental problems, mood swings, depression, things like that. So it just goes beyond in so many ways, and even our dopamine sensitivity is affected, which means the more sugar you have, the more you need it, because our dopamine, there's a sensitivity, so you can get adjusted to it to where you're not getting that rush, that high that you need from sugar, and then you need more of it, and you need more of it. Okay, so we got to start rethinking some of this stuff. Now, as it pertains, for example, to like cancer, because there has been some links between sugar and cancer, as sugar being a huge cause for cancer. And just to kind of understand, in a sense, we all have access to having cancerous cells in our body. Some of our cells become abnormal, and then some of those become malignant. And what happens is, if there's an uncontrollable growth of abnormal and malignant cells that go basically unmonitored by the immune system, because the immune system becomes compromised and can't fight off these, there's other cells that come and pretty much eat, or, I want to say get rid of those cancerous cells. And when there's just too many and it's too much, then what happens is our bodies start to break down. And that's how, when our immune systems are compromised by all the inflammation and things that are going on, then that's how a lot of times people wind up with cancer. And so all of us have those cells working in our body, but if your immune system isn't strong enough to fight this off, then yes, your body's gonna be under attack. All right. And so, and all cancerous cells are the same. So they're directly fed by sugar. Okay. Directly fed by sugar. They eat sugar, and then they excrete lactic acid, and then the body becomes obviously more acidic, and then the liver has to take the lactic acid, convert it to glucagon, and then glucagon to sugar, and this cycle goes on and on and on. But if it's out of control, the more advanced the cancerous cells are, the more taxing it is on the liver, and then the liver pretty much works full time to try to fight off cancer. Okay, so there's this system that goes on where sugar is can be the direct impact to how the body is functioning and how we're not able to get rid of these abnormal cells. I hope that makes sense. Now, one of the things that people have really contributed, like heart disease and heart attacks. Now, I understand that stress and there's other things that causes them, but definitely there's been some connection also with sugar, and it's not cholesterol. Cholesterol is actually the first step in making our hormones pretty much, it causes that balance. If it's in its right perspective, causes that balance between our hormone levels, testosterone, estrogen, all of those different things. And that can also become compromised if our cholesterol is not functioning properly. But cholesterol is not necessarily the reason why people wind up with heart attacks and get sick. What happens is, and I always talk about this becomes pretty much an insulin issue. And let me help you understand why this is an insulin issue and where insulin comes from. when your body, I tell people all the time, stop eating so much sugar. And they're like, I don't eat candy. And it's like, no, you have to understand what sugar really is. When you look at the glycemic index, it shows you all food gets turned to sugar, but it shows you which foods turn to sugar quickly. The foods that turn to sugar quickly will cause your insulin to be released quickly, a very high spike in your blood sugar, so insulin has to be released. So when you're eating foods that causes a quick blood sugar spike, then the insulin has to be released. And that is the issue, because when too much insulin is released, it can cause tears and rips and lesions on the arterial walls. And then when those tears are there, that's when the cholesterol build happens. And so then, yes, that causes heart problems. Okay. So it's not necessarily a cholesterol issue. The cholesterol only gets collected there when there are lesions and there are tears and there are rips in the arterial walls. But it's an insulin issue, because that starts to happen when too much insulin is being released in your body. Of course, insulin causes all kind of problems for your body, causes problems for your organ, your pancreas, your liver, because your livers now have to overwork itself pretty much to compensate for what's happening with your body. And when this goes on too long, your body pretty much breaks down. Okay. And so sugar is not just candy. Now, if you're drinking a can of pop that's got 50 grams of straight sugar, I mean, you just have to know that you're damaging your body. And you have to think about this. Anything that's high on the glycemic index. Now, you have some things that are high on the glycemic index that are healthy foods, like sweet potatoes, but sweet potatoes are full of fiber. So there is a huge difference, because the fiber slows down the spike of the blood sugar. And so that means that the insulin is not going to be released in the same way it would if you're doing something that has no fiber, that has no nutrients in it. Okay. So there's a difference. All right. So I'm hoping that I can help you. I'm going to give you some alternatives to sugar, and you have to start using these alternatives. Stop putting sugar. Sugar is in process. It's a lot of hidden sugar in some of this stuff. When I'm watching people stuff themselves with cheeseburgers from a fast food place and fried chicken from a fast food unhealthy place with processed hidden sugars and all kind of seasonings that have chemicals in them that destroy the brain, and it's just like people are not thinking, and then French fries, like it's fried and it's not going to do your body good. These are things that we have to think about. I'm not saying a white baked potato is not good for you. It is. It can be good for you if you're not on a high carb diet. I mean, if you're not on a super low carb diet. But there are some foods that will give you that sweet taste, again, that are nutritional foods. Okay. And so we need to start switching from sugar and from a lot of the processed foods to eating food that is real food, but that's sweet, that has sugar in it, and that has potassium and magnesium and minerals and antioxidants and, some kind of nutritional value, right? Like if you are making a smoothie, or don't put sugar in anything. Don't put table sugar in your coffee, in your tea. Don't put the sweeteners that are genetically modified when there's food that you can put a banana in a smoothie and it be sweet. You can put pineapples that are full of antioxidants, and berries and strawberries. You can use other things. You can put honey in there. And that's actually number one on my list. So I'm going to talk to you about some of the alternatives that you can use so you can stop breaking your body down. You are killing yourself when you're eating sugar all day. If you're waking up and you're eating pancakes, and I'm not saying pancakes can't be healthy for you, other than the fact that if you're stuffing yourself with gluten, your digestive system is going to be compromised. And if your digestive system is compromised, then your lymphatic system is compromised, because that's your immune system. And your digestive system is your immune system, is your lymphatic system. And if your lymphatic system is not working, guess what? You cannot detoxify. Okay. I'm really passionate about this, as you see. All right. Because your lymph nodes suck up toxins and suck up bacteria and suck up infections. If your lymphatic system, if your immune system is not working, you cannot get rid of the chemicals and the toxins that you are putting in your body. Your digestive system is what helps you. And if you are stuffing yourself with this stuff, then you're not going to be able to detoxify your body, which means you're going to be stuffed with toxins. And that means you're going to get sick. It's just that simple, y'all. It's that simple. We got, and your brain is going to be affected, and you will have chronic disease and degenerative disease. And again, we all have abnormal, malignant, cancerous cells. We all have that, but your body has to be in a position to fight this stuff off. Okay. All right. So here are some, you got me over here feeling. You're not. This is not to condemn you. This is really to help you. I want to give y'all a clear picture. Okay. I want to give you the truth about it. Right. But, yes, it's a garbage disposal, your lymphatic system. I want to give you the truth, but I also want to give you the truth. I want to give you a wake up call. Absolutely. But I want to give you some alternatives. And I also want to help you to understand how you can get healthier. And it's just that simple. I want to help you because you're not going to get helped more than likely. Okay. I'll say more than likely. You're not going to get helped by your doctor. Can y'all get that? When you go to your doctor for this stuff, for back pains and joint problems and chronic illnesses and high blood pressure and I got this going on, they are not going to help you. They are going to give you medicine. They are specialized in they specialize in medicine. You give them a symptom, they give you medicine to clear the symptom. They don't tell you that you're going to kill your organs from this stuff. They don't tell you your kidneys are going to wind up being compromised and your liver is going to overwork itself and your gallbladder is going to be affected and your brain is going to be affected and you might wind up dying because of the combinations of medications that you're on. Yes, people do die from this, from medical intervention statistically. So what I'm telling you is medicine can be a blessing. It absolutely can, especially if you are in a dire need. So if you have crazy high blood pressure, you can't get your blood pressure down or, crazy blood sugar and you can't get it down naturally for the time being. Yes, short term wise, medication can be okay. But I'm telling you, long term wise, it is going to play an absolute part in the components of breaking your body down. Okay. So, we got to do something. We got to be more preventative. Right. And so, again, I don't want to take all the fun away, right? So yeah, you want some sweets in your diet. That's perfectly fine. So the number one, raw, pure honey, local honey. Okay. Not honey that's genetically modified. Okay. That's because that's going to cause problems also if it's genetically modified or if it's made from any corn, which is genetically modified, obviously. But raw honey is not just sugar. Raw honey is not sugar. Raw honey is a food that happens to be sweet. And that's what I love about some of these alternatives is that they're foods that just are naturally sweet. What does honey have that sugar don't have? It has amino acids, antioxidants, electrolytes. Okay, so we're talking about honey reduces inflammation in the body, helps with the lungs. People who have respiratory problems, honey can help with that. Also helps with allergies. Why? Because it's honey. It's got bee pollen, so it helps with allergies. It's like a histamine blocker. Also, so and of course you don't want to go overboard. With any of these alternatives because it is still sugar. Okay, but honey is amazing. And if anybody know me, they know I absolutely love anything that has bee pollen in it. Okay. So I love bee pollen actually. And so even for someone who has high blood sugar, honey is really good because it's very gentle on the area of spiking the insulin. It's a very gentle approach, to your insulin and to your blood sugar levels. Okay. So, it also can help to restore your liver because of that. And it's not it won't be as taxing or whatever on the liver. And it also has effects that can help with serotonin levels. So it helps you to chill out, relax. And you don't want to necessarily, it does, like I say, have electrolytes and antioxidants, but it's not like you want to get done working out and then take honey. But later on in the day is not a big deal. So raw honey, make sure it's local, because a lot of times the local honey most of it don't have bee pollen in it, and you really want it with bee pollen. And make sure that you get it raw. Okay. All right. So another thing it also does help with is to release the waste out of your cells. So it does also help with that. All right. Number 2, dates. Dates is also a food that happens to be sweet. Now, dates have as far as healing the body, honey really has that. I have honey as number 1 for something like that, but dates, in reference to vitamins, minerals, dates are the most nutritional. They really are. And they're very sweet. Potassium, large amounts of fiber. Again, so if you have something that has sugar in it, but also has large amounts of fiber, it's not going to spike your blood sugar too quickly. All right. And it's going to have that gentle, again, approach to the body. And so nutritional wise, dates are absolutely number 1. The fiber actually helps to slow down the absorption. And when that happens, you also are able to absorb more nutrients. Okay. So, and again, remember, this is not a sugar. This is a food item that happens to be sweet that you can actually use if you need sugar. Okay. So, full of antioxidants. Oh, and of course, irregularities. So it works almost like prunes, if you know what I mean. So it's going to help your digestive system, and you need those. You need to regulate your digestive system again, because if it's not regulated, you can't absorb nutrients the way you want. So if you have a blocked colon and you're all stopped up, you're not going to absorb nutrients the way that you want to. Okay. So dates are really, really good, full of minerals, full of vitamins, highly nutritious. I guess does it have seeds, fruit or whatever they'll call it. All right. Next. Now, if you're looking just for alternative to sugar, this is a great option, which is coconut sugar. Coconut sugar, organic, raw, non-GMO, coconut sugar, full of also electrolytes. Now, it is sugar, but it is lower on the glycemic index. So if you're looking for just a ratio of like, I need something just like sugar, but that's healthier, like neck and neck in that sense, then you're looking at coconut sugar. Probably has 50% of the glycemic high number as regular sugar. So you're going to get the same effects when you're cooking with coconut sugar as sugar, but it's not going to do your body as harm. All right. And it also has, again, benefits because full of magnesium, full of potassium, full of electrolytes. And again, lower on the glycemic index. Okay. Oh, and it also has inulin, which is a prebiotic fiber. Okay. So you want to be careful when you don't want to do too much of something with inulin because, when you have those prebiotic fibers, basically, I'll just say it's like the food to probiotics. All right. It is the fertilizer. When you have prebiotics, it fertilizes, it multiplies and makes the probiotics because it's the food. So it helps it's almost like an exponential growth. Okay. I always say it like that. If you're putting money in the bank and you don't just want the same money that you put out, if you're trying to get exponential growth, you need something that's going to make it even better. And so prebiotics make probiotics even better. So I always talk about probiotics, but you need prebiotics too, because that becomes the food to the probiotics. Okay. And it gets multiplied. And so now you have more probiotics in the body. So make sure that you're doing prebiotics along with probiotics. But coconut sugar is good for that. So if you're making a pie or something, you can put coconut sugar in the crust or whatever. You can just use it instead of table sugar. Okay. Because it's a lot healthier. All right. Next on the list, organic pure maple syrup, grade B and C only. And again, it's just a good alternative. Again, you got to be careful that you're not using too much of it, but maybe instead of like, syrup if you are eating like gluten-free pancakes, you can use this instead. I use it all the time. And it's really, really good. Okay. Here's another one that's not mentioned a lot, but it is out there and it is very low on the glycemic index, 7 to 9, like lettuce almost. It's called Dolcity. Dolcedi, Dolcedi. All right. It's at every high-end health food store pretty much. It's pretty much an apple nectar. So it comes from organic apples. Basically, it's an apple nectar, sweetening, and very low on the glycemic index. Not a lot of research behind it, but because it's low on the glycemic index, it's not going to have much effect on your blood sugar. Okay. Apple nectar is very sweet, but it's right in the middle. All right. So it's not, even as far as taste wise, it's sweet enough to do the job, but it's not overly sweet where it's going to mess up. It's in the sweet spot of a glycemic index. Okay. As far as your insulin level and your blood sugars are concerned. Okay. And it's very easy for the body to break down also. All right. The next thing would be stevia. Stevia is good because it has no calories and it's absolutely not sugar. So it has no effect on the liver, right? So stevia is good if, again, you don't need as much because stevia is actually sweeter than sugar. But make sure, again, it's not non-GMO stevia. Don't get Truvia because Truvia is highly processed and we're going back into the same cycle again. All right. So stevia is pretty much an herb. It's made from a leaf or a tree. I can't remember which one. I studied it when I was studying herbology, but it is an herb, okay, and it comes from a tree. It contains absolutely no sugar and no calories, all right? So again, if you're on a low blood sugar or a low sugar diet, that's really good to use. Just, again, don't use the Truvia brand because it's genetically modified and it has a lot of chemicals. Now, you can also get different flavors like chocolate, vanilla, raspberry, this, and there's different flavors of it, which is fine. Okay. Now, another one, the last one I'll give you is, I always get mixed up with pronouncing this, erythritol alcohol. It's not an alcohol, but it's a sugar alcohol, which is different. All right. So it's an alternative because it's only like 70%. It's only got about 70% of the sugar of table sugar. But guess what? The good thing about it is it's zero on the glycemic index. So it's not going to, again, have an effect on your body. There is inulin in it. Don't take it in large amounts because it can start bloating, gas, it's those stomach problems. All right. But make sure that it says that, not just that it says non-GMO. All right. It says non-GMO because, of course, it's made with yeast. So it's fed glucose from corn. And, of course, corn is genetically modified. So you want to make sure that it does say non-GMO. And, again, don't take too much of it, but it's a good alternative, definitely, because it's zero on the glycemic index. All right. So, so it's much healthier than sugar as long as it says non-GMO. All right. So these are some substitutes. Yes. Stevia, you got to kind of get used to the taste. It's an acquired taste and it's very sweet. So you only need it in small amounts. But again, get rid of the sugar. Go out and get some of these products and just have them in your kitchen. Start playing around with them. Listen, we were never really meant to be eating like genetically modified white sugar, processed, refined. That means it's impurities in it. Okay. Like it's toxins in it. And so we were never really designed. And so you have trained your body to be okay with it and to want it. All the processed foods and all the things that have sugar in it and the fried foods and the French fries from fast food restaurants. You were programmed. You have programmed yourself to want that stuff. If you don't eat it, you're not going to want it. You're going to you can develop your own taste buds. You're going to crave whatever you eat. If you eat it, you're going to crave it. Stop eating it. Stop eating the white sugar as much as you can. Stop eating it and start substituting for other things. When I get a sweet tooth, I go and grab me a handful of like berries or strawberries or eat a half a banana. I'm not super big on banana. And, again, bananas are got higher sweet content. So you do have to be very careful with the fruit. But let me tell you, I'd rather grab a handful of berries and cherries and kiwi and pineapples to eat than to, go eat sugar or go grab a pop. When you got a sweet tooth, like I'm gonna grab some juice or some pop with all this corn fructose syrup. And I absolutely can't stand corn fructose syrup. So I don't do as much as I can without corn fructose syrup. I don't want anything with that stuff in it, because that stuff goes straight to the liver and it's a one-way ticket straight to your liver. It don't even get processed. Even table sugar gets processed through the body, but corn fructose syrup goes straight to the liver and turns to fat, becomes fatty liver. That's how you get a fatty liver very quickly. And so a lot of that is in your juices and your pops and things like that you drink, is that corn fructose syrup. And so that's why when people drinking all that pop, they wind up with a fatty liver. They wind up with problems. And I even know somebody who drank so much pop that they died. Left 7 kids behind, but they drank like excessive amounts of pop every day. And so, again, no judgment towards that particular person, but I don't think people know. And so, green apples are probably less sweet than red apples, but there's debates about the pectin that's in fruit and the skin and things like that. Like especially fruit with like very thin skin, like it's healthier to eat fruit like bananas that have a thicker peel. But again, I'm not an extremist on every level. It depends on how it is for you, how you feel when you eat it. But again, be careful with eating too much fruit, because you got to remember too, fruit has fructose in it. So it's fruit, right? It got fructose in it. So you do still have to be careful with fruit. But I am saying that I'd rather put a banana in a smoothie than regular sugar, because a banana at least has some vitamins, some nutritional value. And so if the fruit has a little bit more nutritional value or even fiber, then, you'll be better off with it. Okay. So I hope that this helped you understand how sugar is affecting your body, and how I don't know if you've been on the I just went through all the alternatives to sugar, so you have to kind of watch it again. I just went through 8 of them. So just make sure that you understand that sugar is really damaging your body, and you just don't, I even got honey now that's been infused with chilies and peppers and stuff. And I use it as an alternative to barbecue sauce if I do want to put something a little sweet on my chicken, or dip my chicken in something, my organic chicken, or whatever, your shrimp, whatever you have. Instead of like dipping it in barbecue sauce with all the sugar, again, a lot of it is processed. I'll use the honey that's infused with, like, because I like a little spice to my food. And it's amazing. I mean, it tastes so good. But if your body and your tongue and your taste gets you start eating other stuff, you start getting attracted to real food, because sugar is not real food. It's chemicals. It's just as dangerous as drugs. And it's even more addicted, according to some studies, than cocaine. And so that's why people can't stop doing it, because it's an addiction. So you gotta, just start to readjust some of this stuff, because again, your body's gonna be breaking down. Your skin is gonna be bad. You're gonna get darker. You're gonna have more wrinkles. Your joints gonna have problems. Your organs are gonna have problems. Your arteries are probably becoming stiffer and stiffer. And you may not know that. Some people go to the doctor and find out they've arteries clogged up, 90%. And again, cholesterol is not the issue. Insulin is, because the insulin leaves the tears in the arteries, and then the cholesterol builds up. So yes, it is a indirect effect at that point. So be very careful with sugar. Again, go back to the beginning, I talked about the issue with cancerous cells and things like that. And again, I'm just going based off of research and what is being found out as far as sugar is concerned. And so we just got to be careful, and we got to start thinking. Remember, again, be encouraged. Check my TEDx talk out. It's very encouraging to all of you. And I'll continue to get information out to you. I still do have my detox program, and I forgot to put it on the link. I'll go back and put it on the link. But I still do have my detox program out, and it helps to detox, and it helps you. And I have a solid food detox and also a smoothie a detox. And so I have two different ones, but it also gives you a blueprint of the kind of foods that you can be eating every day that can help continually detox the body. And I also have a free video that comes with it that helps you learn how, because with all the environmental things that are happening, even the lipstick that you put on causes toxins to go in the body. The things that you put in your hair, the shampoo, everything, the environment that you're in, the lotion that you use. There's so many, and of course the food that you eat. There's so many things that causes toxins to your body, and you have to allow those cells to release those toxins from your body. So you have to adapt a certain kind of way of eating that can help on a day-to-day basis to do that. And so I help you to do that in there. So I give you the teaching and the training, because you can be only as successful as you are learned. If you're not learning something, you can't be successful. You can't make a change. Okay. So I always give a training with even if I'm giving you a detox program and I'm saying, here's what you need to eat Monday through, here's what you need to do. I'm still going to give you a training, because you have to learn about your body. All right. So yes, if you're nursing, yes, you can use a detox, because I use food. And that's the good thing. I use food in the detox. It's all food, So, and it's not nasty. These are some amazing smoothies. I've heard some great feedback about some of the pineapple smoothies and stuff that I do. So they're not nasty. They're not going to be bored on the detox, but it is food that will help to detox your body, because there are foods that you can put in your body that helps to detox the liver and detox the kidneys and, detox the lymph nodes and all of those organs and stuff in your body. So make sure you check it out. I'll put the link back up. I'll put the link up. I didn't put it up, but I'll put it up. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm always appreciative of you. I just wanted to help you out, and I want you to start thinking about this stuff when you're cooking or when you're making your cookies. Like maybe use a little bit of coconut sugar, right? Okay. And or honeys and some of your you can bake with some of this stuff. I'm not telling you to get rid of your desserts. I'm telling you, stop putting that sugar in your desserts and start using some food items that can sweeten your dessert. I'm telling you, you'll learn how to be appreciative to the taste and what it's nutritionally doing for your body. You're going to get benefits for your body for eating real food, and you'll still get the good taste. All right. So just want to help you out with that, so you're not bored with still cooking. And yes, you can still cook and bake your gluten-free cookies made with coconut sugar or whatever. Have your little treat here and there. But if you keep overpounding your body with all this processed food and these hidden sugars and this pop and the drinks that that you're drinking and the Gatorade and all of that stuff that you think is healthy and it's not, I'm telling you, you're going to look up and you're not going to feel well in your body, and you'll start having signs of it. But some people are so sick, they don't even know they're sick. They won't ever know they're sick until they get well. And then they're going to realize, wow, I was in pain. I was tired all day. I was cloggy. My mind couldn't think. I couldn't focus. I was having nervousness, anxiety. Couldn't sleep at night, having my adrenaline glands going too much. My knees was hurting. People are just used to living like this. And so they don't even know that they're sick, because this is their life. This is chronic for them. This is what they've been living with. And when you start to get well, you're going to know just how sick you were. And I'm telling you that it's the truth. So I want to continue to empower you with information, and I absolutely will. My next Facebook, I will answer more questions. I just had to get this information out, but I promise I'll get back to some more questions for you guys. All right. Love you guys so much, and y'all have a amazing and a beautiful day. And again, I'm going to put the link up, and if somebody is watching this after it's live, the link will be already there. All right. Thank you guys so much. Love you.